Hey folks, this is Cory from the Overshield.com here, and I am here with Bob Chipman. Bob?
Nice to meet you, Cory.
For those who don't know Bob, he is the game overthinker. He is also MovieBob from Escape from the Movies, and I believe if I'm correct, you're part of the Boston Film Critics Association?
I'm part of the Boston Online Film Critics Association. That's at bofka.com. You can check us out. And yeah, we're good guys, and check that out, bofka.com.
Now, I'm going to ask you first a personal question. What is your least favorite movie that you've had to review?
Least favorite that I've had to review. God, I wish I had a more interesting answer, but Transformers 2 is still a pretty painful sit. Most recently, the one that was kind of a bummer was Man of Steel. Not because it's a bad movie, it's not, but because it was not quite what I'm looking for in a Superman movie, and it kind of like brought me down though, because I was like, this is one of those. It's a tough one because it's so good in some parts, but has such problems in other parts that it was just kind of like, oh God, I wanted to like this so much, and I don't quite. So that was kind of a bummer. But
so it was too Zack Snyder for your taste?
No, actually, I don't think it was Zack Snyder enough.
It was not Zack Snyder enough?
It was no.
So we needed more of Dr. Manhattan.
Why would you not want more of Dr. Manhattan?
Exactly. Well, I don't want more of pantsless Dr. Manhattan. I'm sorry, but.
Oh, come on, that was brilliant. That was pantsless Dr. Manhattan it's the key to the whole thing. Is he's so disconnected from humanity, he doesn't even have shame anymore, and they nailed that.
Well, the last thing I want to do is I'm sitting in an IMAX and there's just a big blue dick right there. That's the last thing I want, man.
There are worse things to see in IMAX than a big blue dick. See Transformers 2.
Or just any Michael Bay film.
Pain and Gain is awesome.
Except for that one, yes. So would you like...
Bad Boys 2.
Oh. Bad Boys 2?
Bad Boys 2 is awesome.
All right. So would you like to explain your book here?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Let's plug the hell out of this. This is my new book, which will be on sale coming soon at fangamer.net. It's on sale right now here at SGC in the dealer room at the Screw Attack booth. And from me, if you see me on the floor. Although, actually, this is probably not going out live, so it doesn't matter. But this is coming soon to a website near you at fangamer.net. This is basically a novelized Let's Play. I played through the entire game of Super Mario Bros. 3, wrote down everything that I did, analyzed every level, every character, basically every pixel. For their aesthetic and artistic and historical value. And if you're a big fan of retro games, to my knowledge, this is the most comprehensive single overview of an individual game that's been done. And if not, it's certainly one of them. And I hope you check it out. It's called Super Mario Bros. 3 Brick by Brick, coming soon from fangamer.net and by me. So I hope you guys like it. I wrote it for you.
All right. So I want to ask you about the game overthinker. I'm curious now. How exactly did that come about? What gave you the energy to do that?
Boredom.
Just sheer boredom?
Sheer boredom.
Were you just sitting on a couch and just thought, like, I think people want to hear my thoughts?
Well, more like, I was having lots of thoughts, and I was and because sometimes I do think it's one of my favorite things to do is to use brain and things to put words in order, and I was seeing a lot of this stuff happening online where people were doing video games and video game related shows. Zero Punctuation, Yahtzee Croshaw, great guy, was just starting to break right at that time. The Angry Nerd, Jim Rolfe, had just started to break at that time. And I was looking at those guys, and it wasn't so much I can do that. It was I went to school for making videos and films and communications, and I like video games. If this is out there right now that I can just, record myself into a microphone and just run some clips over it and just get random thoughts out of my head on there, that might be more fun and interesting than just a blog. And I put it up there, and it did okay on YouTube. And then Screw Attack found it and put it on their page, and it just exploded. So I have them to thank for everything. And from then on, it was just like, wow, people want to hear this? Fine, here we go. And then The Escapist found some movie reviews that I did, and that became Escape to the Movies and The Big Picture. And I consider myself like the luckiest guy on earth because all I was doing was stuff that seemed fun to me, and now it's a career.
And you've inspired a lot of other people. You kind of had a hand in creating the game Underthinker.
Yeah, that guy was a riot. That was good stuff.
Now, I'm curious, you're going to do a game overthinker regarding towards the policies of Microsoft and DRM, how they're switching?
The most recent episode just went up.
It just went up today.
Just went up 2 days ago. The most recent episode of Game Overthinker, episode 85. You can watch that on Blip and at my the Game Overthinker blog, gameoverthinker.blogspot.com. And yeah, that's up, and it honestly, I had made the whole episode about E3 and Sony and what happened with Sony basically dropping the mic on Microsoft, and Microsoft basically getting booed out of E3 for all of this horrible shit. Can I say shit?
Yeah, it's all right, man. We go uncensored.
Okay, all right. Well, Microsoft getting booed out of E3 for all this terrible stuff they were doing, and as I'm hitting, all right, I got this done. It's right in time for SGC. I'm gonna hit render and get this out and send, and then I was like, hey, why is Twitter blowing up? Oh God! They changed their mind. So I put a thing at the beginning that said, "Okay, hey, most of this episode is still salvageable." It's like that Simpsons. Was it the Simpsons when they're at the funeral and the guy's there? Like, he was a good man and he gave to his community, and the guy comes up and whispers in your ear, "That's a woman."
I think it was. Yeah, it was the Simpsons.
Yeah. Oh well, I guess most of what I said is still salvageable.
It's actually funny is Michael Pachter had the same issue. He recorded an episode and then the day later, and now he's pretty much telling NeoGAF, I was right, you guys got to change it.
And what I think it's important that people take away from this, I just had an article go up on The Escapist as well right now, is a lot of people are looking at this thing from Microsoft, what happened for historical context. Microsoft had a bunch of terrible DRM policies for the Xbox One. Sony decided to go to E3 and say, well, we're not doing any of that shit, haha. And Microsoft went, oh, crap. And then a few days later basically said, no, we're not going to do that. We're sorry. Please buy the machine. And for a lot of people are saying, like, oh, man, Sony saved us. Sony kicked Microsoft's ass. Fuck that. If Sony thought they could get away with this shit, they'd be doing the exact same thing. All the big companies want this kind of stuff to go on because it gives them more control. What happened to Microsoft was that finally gamers and consumers in general got up in front of like one of the biggest corporations in the history of the world is Microsoft and said, that's too far, you don't get to do that, that's enough, we have rights and we're going to exercise one of them, which is not to buy your shitty machine. And Microsoft had to back down. That's your win. If you're a gamer or a consumer, you won that. Not Sony, not Nintendo, not anyone there. It was games journalists who got on them about this early, and the consumers that reacted to it are the ones that kicked Microsoft's ass in that thing. That win belongs to you.
I completely agree. Cliffy B, I think, has the wrong idea with that.
Well, the thing of it is Cliff is a businessman. He's entitled to his opinion. And the thing is, the practices Microsoft was talking about are very, very good for publishers of huge AAA games and for console makers, because it would give them more control and they'd be able to make more money and they'd have more say in what was going on. I understand why Cliff doesn't want me to buy used copies of his games, because he'd like to make full price. I understand. That is what puts food on him and his family's table. I disagree with him. I don't think he needs to be an ass about it.
I completely agree.
But I understand. But at the same time, I'm sorry. I only have so much money to spend, and if used games are going to help me save that money, I'm going to do that. And I understand why they don't want me to buy used games, but you know what? Make better games and make them more worth buying, and I won't buy them used. I go out of my way to buy certain games at full price because I want to support them. I will buy Bayonetta 2 brand new on opening day because I want those guys to get my money because they deserve it. They made good games.
And Nintendo pretty much helped save them, too.
Yes, they did, and I want to register my support of that. Whereas there are some other games, and I'm not going to name any names because why be negative, but there are some games by some publishers that I specifically wait to buy the used version of because, frankly, they've got enough money.
Dead Space 3?
I'm not going to name specific names.
Well, for me, that was personally mine.
No, that's fine. I'm not in a position to burn bridges.
No, you don't want to burn bridges, man. Those bridges gotta stay solid.
I don't need to run into these people at a bar at one of these conventions or something. So he's like, so I hear you aren't fond of my game. And they're like, well, it's nothing personal against you, but it's but the thing, look, that's I think the used game market is one way that consumers can have power in this. Is that these things go? I mean, GameStop is a shitty corporation, fine.
I completely agree.
But if they're going to keep running this pawn shop mentality whereby if you wait one day, you can buy the game used and the profits don't go back to the company that made the game directly. If you've got a problem with a company but you still want to take a look at the product, that's one more way that you can use your rights as a consumer in a free market in order to tell them that. And I encourage people to do that. If you've got some kind, when Call of Duty came out and they did that game, they put Oliver North in the commercial, and it was this huge thing. I am not. I didn't buy that game new, and I still didn't buy it, and I'm not going to, because I don't want to give money to a company that's going to put Oliver North in a TV commercial. So that's one way to do that. I can still check out the game, but it's a way of registering a protest vote. It's the video buying used is the video gaming equivalent of voting third party.
So you vote for your wallet, folks.
Message.
So I think it's been a pretty great interview, Bob. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. You guys have fun and keep watching Overshield.com.
Bob, thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys.